This month, we're sharing testimonies from our listeners and some of our previous guests. Testimonies of God's direction, miraculous moments on set, examples of God taking what was offered and multiplying it in ways that were never imagined. Here's one of those testimonies.
This is the Faith and Family Filmmakers Podcast, helping filmmakers who share a Christian worldview stay in touch, informed, and inspired. Quiet on set. Rolling.
Hello, this is Casey Morlet. I'm an actress from Southern California. My God story begins, at the beginning. When I was a young child, my parents put me in community theater, and ever since I have just loved acting and have acted in one form or another almost constantly since childhood. However, God pulled me out for a few years to focus on building our family. After my kids became a little bit more independent, I felt tugged to re-enter the acting world. I researched and observed to see how the film industry had changed, and then I jumped back in, trusting God in the process. It was early on in the jumping back in stage when I saw a casting call on Facebook. I immediately knew God was in it when the director gave me the role after a short Zoom meeting where he admitted I might be too nice for the part. I was beyond excited to be trusted with this role and also to just participate in one of my first major projects since re-entering the industry. The part was for a fast-talking, snippety legalist with all the opinions at a Bible study meeting. It was also a comedy. Shortly before the shoot, I came down with a cold. The cold turned into my voice going completely in and out and persistent coughing fits that were triggered by cold air and really any time I talked. Major problem, especially for this role. Words were supposed to just spill from my mouth in a torrent and also at a pace appropriate for comedy. Our director was already telling us to talk faster and faster. I saw a disaster in the making. I'm a part of the Powerhouse Sisterhood run by Venus Monique, a group of actresses who love Jesus and encourage one another in the industry. As a part of this group, we have prayer partners. My prayer partner during this time was Olivia Main, and I reached out to her. She knew how much this role meant to me, how excited I was, how I wanted to glorify God on set. It was close to Christmas, and there was no way this shoot was going to get rescheduled. Olivia promptly prayed for me and checked in on me and prayed for me more. The shoot was 2 days. On the first day, most of my coverage ended up just being reaction shots or me being an eyeline for my castmates. A huge blessing. My voice was able to rest and the coughing was kept to a minimum. Day 2 came and I was nervous. I'm the type of person that doesn't like to let people down, be a burden, cause any type of hiccup or cough. That on top of it being my big re-entry into film, yet the nerves were pretty big that day. Olivia continued to pray and encouraged me from another state away throughout the day. Amazingly, I was able to speak without any coughing fits, at the appropriate pacing, and had a really great time. It's one of my favorite roles to date. I'm so grateful for God for leading me to this role and back into the industry to glorify Him through the stories I tell. I'm grateful for my sisters in Christ, who I know have my back to encourage me and come before our Father on my behalf. If you want to watch the film, keep an eye out for Small Group Think, directed by the awesome Jason Eakin. And I'll just end this story by saying, the next day after my coverage, my cough was back, and it hung around for weeks. Annoying as that is, God surely took it away for the hours it needed to be gone. It's such a privilege to be walking with the Lord and doing His work. Thanks for letting me share.
Thanks for listening to the Faith and Family Filmmakers Podcast. If you've been enjoying this podcast, take a moment to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast player so you don't miss an episode. And if you'd like to support the production of this podcast, you can leave a tip at faffpodcast.com/support. Bringing filmmakers together for faith and family.